Jordan hadn't reeled in his line once in 10 minutes. The lake was dead calm, the kind of morning where every ripple sounds louder than it should, and where the loudest thing on the water was Uncle Earl's ancient cooler creaking every time he leaned forward on his upside-down bucket, which he insists on calling a chair.
This thing has survived 30 fishing seasons and hasn't complained, unlike some people I could name.
Jordan wasn't fishing so much as guarding his phone with his life, staring at it the way people stare at test results they don't want to open. I nudged his boot with mine. "You're gonna scare the fish with that screen glow?" Nothing.
They rolled out the AI system yesterday, showed everybody how it works. Nobody asked questions. Nobody joked around after. We all just looked at each other like somebody died.
He's 22, 6 months into his first real office job. And sitting there by the lake, rod forgotten across his lap, he looked older than Uncle Earl, who is in his 70s and has never once looked worried about anything in his life, including, currently, the fact that he is sitting on a bucket. Earl didn't even turn his head.
I've seen this movie before.
Jordan looked up.
So have I.
Twice, actually.
Earl said, deadpan, like he was ordering coffee.
1994. Computers showing up in offices. Then 2004. Internet stopped being something your kids played with and started being something your boss expected you to already know. Same story both times. Room split in half. Half the people learned the new thing. The other half spent 2 years explaining very confidently why the new thing wasn't going to matter.
Jordan let out a nervous laugh.
I think I know which half my office is becoming.
I bet you do.
For a minute, nobody spoke, just the click of Earl's reel and a heron somewhere pretending it wasn't listening. Because that's the thing about change. It never announces itself. Nobody wakes up to a calendar reminder that says, "Congratulations, today begins one of the biggest shifts of your lifetime." It shows up disguised as an awkward staff meeting, a dumb-looking app icon, something everyone's pretty sure is a fad.
When computers first showed up, people thought they were expensive typewriters. Knew a fellow at the post office, bragged for years he'd retire before he ever touched one.
What happened?
He retired about 8 years earlier than planned. Company had a different opinion about how essential he was once the computer showed up.
That shut us both up, then made us both laugh, which felt a little mean, but Uncle Earl was already laughing too, so...
Funny part was hardly anybody could see where any of it was headed.
He nodded toward the water.
Ever stand here before sunrise? Can't see the far shoreline at all. Doesn't mean it's not there. Just means the light hasn't caught up to it yet.
I liked that one enough to feel slightly annoyed he got there before I did. I'm supposed to be the one with the metaphors.
Same with the internet. Hobbyist toy, everybody said.
And social media, I added. Remember when everyone swore nobody would ever trust buying things online? I also remember people saying nobody would ever make actual money posting videos of themselves talking. I gestured at myself, at the lake, at the general absurdity of my career. And yet,
Funny how that worked out.
Earl said, glancing at me with the specific look of a man who has definitely watched at least one of my videos and is choosing not to bring it up. Jordan finally slid his phone into his pocket, the way a man surrenders a weapon.
So, were you ahead of any of that?
Earl scratched his chin like he was deciding whether to take credit.
Wouldn't go that far. I was just paying attention. Wasn't rich, wasn't connected. Delivered mail for 37 years in shoes I will tell you were not comfortable. But I noticed something. I didn't have to guess who'd win.
What do you mean?
When people build a new town, somebody sells the bricks. Somebody pours the concrete. Somebody builds the roads. Roads make money, no matter which house ends up the prettiest one on the block.
That one actually stuck with me, more than I wanted to admit in front of him. Most people think good investing means correctly guessing the future. Earl never guessed anything in his life except maybe fish size. He just looked for the foundation under whatever was already starting to show up.
So, what's the foundation this time?
Jordan asked, like he was hoping for a stock ticker. Earl didn't answer right away. Baited his hook first, unhurried, like Jordan's entire career wasn't hanging in the balance. Then, quietly,
Wrong question.
It is?
Right question. Where do you fit into it?
Jordan looked away, toward the water, like the answer might be floating out there with the bobbers.
I don't know.
That's honest. Beats pretending none of it matters, which is what half that office of yours is doing right now, very loudly, over lunch.
He leaned back on his bucket chair and held up one finger.
If I were 22, I'd put a little money in every month. Small pieces of the company's helping build whatever's coming. Nothing exciting, boring as this bucket.
Second finger.
I'd learn enough about these tools to help people who don't have time to figure it out themselves. You'd be shocked how many small business owners don't need an expert. They just need somebody one chapter ahead of them, which currently is a very low bar to clear.
Third finger, and he looked straight at Jordan.
And this one's the cheapest of all three. Stop reading headlines about it. Go use it.
Jordan almost smiled.
That's the whole secret?
That's the whole secret. Most people won't do the boring part. They'll spend 3 hours arguing online about whether the thing is dangerous and 0 minutes actually opening it up to see what it does.
Even Jordan laughed at that, and honestly, I recognized myself a little too much for comfort. When I first started messing around with these tools for my own channel, I wasn't trying to become some kind of expert. I was mostly just too impatient to do things the slow way. Turns out impatience is underrated. Research got faster, brainstorming got less painful. The blank page stopped looking like it was judging me personally. The tool wasn't doing the work for me. It was just getting out of the way so I could. Different thing entirely, even if it doesn't feel like it at 2 in the morning. You know what's funny? I said to Jordan. I don't think your manager's hunting for the smartest person on the team. I think they're hunting for the easiest person to keep, the one who solves the problem instead of hosting a debate about it. Earl pointed at me with a grin like I'd just passed a pop quiz.
Now she's paying attention.
Then, softer.
I've watched this exact split happen more than once. Different decade, different technology, same two people showing up every time. One gets curious, other one gets comfortable. The curious one usually doesn't know one bit more than anybody else starting out. They're just willing to look a little foolish for a while. Ask the obvious question, click the wrong button, get it wrong twice. 6 months later, everybody calls them lucky.
Jordan stared out at the water.
So you're saying I shouldn't panic?
No, I'm saying panic is expensive. Curiosity's free. Cheapest thing on this whole lake, and that includes the worms.
We sat with that a while. Eventually, Jordan picked his rod back up and actually cast it this time, the lure landing with a splash that startled absolutely nothing because we hadn't caught a single fish all morning, and at this point, I think even the fish had opinions about our conversation.
There's an AI workshop next week.
Jordan said, not looking at either of us.
The one nobody signed up for. Because, obviously.
That one, I said.
I think I'm gonna go.
Earl didn't say anything, just nodded once, the way a man nods when he already knew the ending and was only being polite by asking the question. We packed up a while later, having caught, between the three of us, 2 fish and a lot of perspective. One of the fish was too small to keep. Uncle Earl threw it back with the tenderness of a man releasing a small business into the wild economy.
Come back when you've grown a little.
Which, now that I think about it, was advice for all of us.